is feeling what you feel. And then again, going back to the beginning, lighting up that feeling. If you feel love around that spark, then lighting it up and then making it grow.
Okay, hello people. It's Bhavik here from the podcast Bigger Than the Hustle. This is the first one I'm doing, so super excited, super nervous, super interested in my first guest. Now, this is someone I've known all my life, surprisingly. She's been a big influence on me, and we've had such interesting conversations over the years, many years, even decades, about life, about business, about money, about family, that I just wanted to air some of these. Obviously, we're only going to cover a short conversation, but it will be something that's interesting. I know she has so much to give and so much insight. So I'm just going to hand over to her. And here's Sheeda. So Sheeda, if you can just introduce yourself and give us a quick insight into you.
Yeah, my name is Sheeda in Market Harborough, because my business is Sheeda's Beauty Clinic. My name is Harshida to Bhavik Patel. Basically, I run a beauty clinic, a little bit different from a beauty salon, in Great Oxenden, a lovely little village in Great Oxenden, Market Harborough.
Cool. And so, like when let's just go back to the start. When you decided to sort of set this up, obviously it was nothing like it is now. It doesn't look anything like it did now, and your thought process was nothing of how it's going to evolve to now. So what was your thinking behind setting this up, and also what gave you the belief to think that it was possible? Because now you're an entrepreneur, okay? That's the new hip word. But in those days, even when I started, there was no word of entrepreneur. It was just, let me just try it. Let's go. Yeah, let me give it a go. So what gave you the belief? Because so many people even now think about it, but don't do it. So what gave you the belief to believe that actually, you know what, this might be possible. This is a path that I want to tread.
Yeah. I've always been interested in keeping yourself well, for a start. So more to do with exercise and nutrition. But something just triggered it through something that came through the post. It was a brochure from a college, and at that time they were doing beauty training. So I thought I could try going down that road, but it was nothing to do with having a business in beauty. So to answer your question, basically, it was my tutor. She saw something inside me. She lit something within me that she said, I think you can go further with this. And that's the first time somebody has actually had belief in me, because I didn't have belief in myself. And that's what I have now, but I didn't then. But somebody had to trigger that, and it was her. So then I carried on with the course, found myself a job. But while I was working for somebody, I actually ran the business for him. And because I ran it, I thought, well, I could do this myself. Why should I run it for somebody else? And he actually sold me the business because he didn't really want to have anything to do with it. So it was luck, really, for me. And then slowly belief. So I think belief is the main word here.
Okay. A couple of things you mentioned just there. First was your tutor seeing something in you that you didn't see yourself.
Yeah.
As you get older, do you see that more and more, where you can talk to people, you have people that come into your sort of surroundings, and you're like, I can see so much in you. Why can't you see that in yourself? Is that something that you think
it resonates? Yeah, definitely resonates. And that's why I love this job, because it's not just about my clients. The clients have a big part in it, but it's the girls who I've worked with, and I see that they've got opportunity within them, and I will only push that spark if I believe they can do it. But I never, like I said, I don't push it. I just ask, just like my tutor did. So I use the same words that she did. what do you think? Do you think you could do this? Because I can see that you've got a lot of potential in this. That's it. That's all you need to say to a person. And the only reason I say that's the only thing you need to say to a person is somebody said it to me and it lit something within me. So yes, I see that a lot, whether it's a client lying on my couch or it's a staff that I'm training.
Cool. It also, do you know, so many people, especially in this situation we're in right now, probably are in a mode of fear, maybe in a mode of worry about their job, about their work situation. And they're thinking maybe, you know, I don't want to be in this boat and I want to start something myself. What would you say to someone looking to start on their own path and just needs a little bit of a nudge?
I think, first of all, sit back and think that, see what you really want to do first. For me, going back again, for me, beauty, well-being was a hobby. So if there's something that you love inside, that's when you can spark it up. And the way to give yourself you can only give yourself a nudge and say, right, I'm going to do it. And I'm afraid to be an entrepreneur, you have to take risks. I think that's the big thing. Just go for it. Just do something. Like today, when you said to me you wanted me to join this, I would have never thought I could do anything like this, but I'm doing it, and that's what it is. You need a nudge from somebody.
Is it a case of feel the fear and do it anyway?
Yes, absolutely. Jump off that cliff and find out if you've got wings.
Yeah. Or build the wings on the way down, right?
You have to build the wings on the way down. I think that's
do you know something you just said there? Do you know if someone has like I said, an idea, a little thought, a little little thing niggling inside their head where it says, I really want to do this, but everything around me tells me I am either not worthy or it's not possible for me, i.e. the people around me, the news, the environment, the conversations I'm listening to, everything points to me, pushing me back in my box of fear. What would you say to someone that was in that sort of situation to try and get them out, to push them into the direction really that the universe probably needs them to go?
Yeah, to be honest, there's a story behind this. It's a hypothetical story. Basically, you can walk down the same street all the time, fall into the same hole, but because it's easier to go down that street and fall down that hole and get yourself out, that's what you'll keep doing. You will never change the way you are. The thing that you need to do is, you're fearing to go down that street where you think, oh, that might be the way to go. So you think, I say to people, go down a different journey, go down the different route of your life. Even if you fear it, again, it's all about fear. It's about being nervous. Just go for it. And don't keep going down the same. Don't be surrounded by those people. Even though I know there's people, your family, that you love, but sometimes you might just have to say, actually, I'm going to do this. I know you don't really like me to do this, but I'm going to do it. And then if you not fail, but if it's not the right way to do it, then you will learn through that. But if you just keep going by what other people say, I'm afraid you're going to keep going down that same road. Other negative people, sorry. Yeah.
And I think the saying comes, a couple of things that came up when you just spoke there. There's no win or lose, there's only win or learn. And also, in order for you, like you said, if you try and change how you think about something, then something actually changes. In terms of the actual way to change how you think about something, you really have to immerse yourself into a different environment. So you have to drown out the noise of your current environment. Would you say you drown out the noise of your current environment? So like I said, the people around you that are not serving you, the things you're watching that are not serving you, the things you're listening to that are not serving you, and tell your brain, this is something I want to do. Now show me how this is possible. and
Yeah.
things will just start turning up, and you can't explain it and you don't know how. And this has happened to me time and time again. If I go to sleep and meditate on something, somehow the brain starts working something out, and then you start seeing it. It's the same analogy of, I've just bought a red car and suddenly all the cars around me are red, even though they were always red.
Yeah.
They just never, you never saw them because your receptors are never on, and your brain, you never told your brain you want to see red cars. So that's how I see it. And I think that's,
Yeah.
be immersed is what it is. Change your whole everything.
Bhavik, you've just said the main thing there, really, which I didn't really want to mention just there. I don't know why, but it's meditation. Meditation is a massive. I mean, meditation is not about and being still and all that. Meditation is feeling what you feel, and then again, going back to the beginning, lighting up that feeling. If you feel love around that spark, then lighting it up, and then making it grow. So in meditation, you can do that, but you don't have to push it. It will just come, just like you said. It will just come to you, and you think, where did that come from? But and that is when the universe is actually putting those messages within. But if you shut that door to society, to what should be, then the universe can't penetrate.
Just switching it a little bit, what makes you happy today?
Okay, there is, I keep going to sayings, but there is a saying, you're only as happy as your saddest child. Now, it used to be a mum is always happy as the saddest child, but now I will take it as you or a parent is only as happy. What makes me happy is if my young family, my two, if they're happy, then I can make anything around me happier. That's it.
And do you think it's your job to make them happy?
I used to think that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think it was, but they've taught me that it's not.
And I'm sure they keep teaching you, right?
In their own little way, they'll say, stop it. Now, this is my journey. And my son, Ricky, he would actually say that, Mom, I can do this. And as soon as they say that, you think, God, step back. Step
Catch
back.
yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny because you're obviously Mishi and Rick are a little bit further down the road than my two.
Yeah.
And they, both Kai and Kaylin. I don't know if this sort of like is a masculine and a feminine energy difference in thinking, but
Okay.
the way I like to show my love and the way I like to show my guidance is by me living my life that way.
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
you understand? So rather than saying do this, and then me doing something else, it's like I will show you how I live my life. And I think they see what we're doing, and that resonates with them without words. So I think we can speak, but I think the actions show more, and words are heard, but actions are felt. And I think when you feel something, it triggers something inside you that hopefully years down the line they're like, well, what would my dad have done? And maybe something comes out. I'm not perfect. I don't think I'm ever going to live a perfect life, but I'm trying my best to be the best parent I can, and that's the way I see it.
Yeah. Well, as you said, whatever you do, they will even mimic, because a baby mimics, and we can actually do that. Mish actually sometimes says to me, oh, you sounded like Nanny, and I sometimes think, really, did I? So down the line they will see those things, so we have to be quite careful how we do things, and the thing is, they're not necessarily going to follow everything, good or bad. They're going to have their own journey, and that's the beauty about the whole thing, is you as a parent understanding they will have their own way of doing things, and it will be right for them. It might not have been right for you, but it will be right for them.
What's missing in your life right now?
God, you know what? I know you've asked me this question before. I don't feel there's anything missing.
Okay. What about
It's
space and time?
time. The lack of? Maybe the lack of.
So you'll know yourself because you've been in the game longer than me. When you enter the world of entrepreneurship or business, there's never a minute that, you know, I started 20 years ago. I don't think there's a minute that my brain has switched off.
No.
And what I've always said to younger people when I've done talks or if I've done sort of coaching is, if you want a 9 to 5 where you go to work, you do your work, and you come home and you can just do whatever else you want, and then your brain is not on your work till you go back the next day, don't start a business. Because there is never a time where you naturally think, that's it, I can actually switch off and start again tomorrow. It doesn't happen. What do you think?
Well, I think you can split that a little bit. Now,
Yeah.
that's how I've done it with my work. I used to live, breathe, wake up, look at my phone, see who's emailed me, how many emails I've got, what's a new product out there, all of those. But I have given it a time frame now, Bhavik. So I actually do switch off, not completely. There is always triggers. There could be an advert on the television and that will take me straight back to my business. There could be something I'm reading on Facebook, Instagram, and that would take me back to my business. But that doesn't, for me, it's not work. That's not work. Work is when I'm in my salon with my clients, doing what I love doing what I'm best at, and trying to do that at my best ability or the best ability. And then switching that off to spend that such precious time with my family, and the environment that we're in now, you have to spend your time with your family. Luckily, I've got Mission Rob with me, so it's lovely to spend time with all of us. Simon's working from home. I think that's really precious, just having that time when you've got to switch off. Then that's the only thing I say. Yes, you will be, your head's going 110 miles an hour, but that's fine. Just try and spend that precious time with your family.
Now, going back to the start, growing up, I know, the importance of, as I've grown up, I've read lots of stuff, I've looked at my own life. I've seen the importance of the basis and the foundation we have when we're growing up. So as we're children, as we grow into adolescence, as we go to teenagers, and all the influences and all the learnings and things we have. So during that time when you were growing up, who do you think was the most influential in your life?
Can I say your dad?
You can?
He was, yeah. He was, because I spent, I would say, the most important years of a child or a human being's life with him. So between the age of 8 and 14. But we lived in a really a big family, but he was like my pillar. So I think there is a lot of what he did is who I am now. First of all, is independence. Literally, he would just say to you, "You do this," and he'll come back and tell me I've done it wrong. but he'll still. But he gave me that respect, that he would leave me to do it, and then he'll come back again. So confidence, independence. I think that's really important for me now. And the other thing is, he always wanted to help somebody, even though it was sometimes to his detriment. He just wanted to help. He wanted to make sure that they get their best potential out of themselves, even if you have to shout at them, whatever. But because he loved them, he would do it. I'm afraid I've got a bit of that trait as well. I sometimes have to just raise my voice a bit, even because I love them. I think, why are you doing this? But I don't, it's not through anger or anything like, it's just like frustration sometimes. And maybe that's where I've got that from my uncle. Definitely very influential person.
And you know, those times, like I said, we're so sort of malleable. Our minds and our thought processes are so pliable in terms of how we become as people. And there's and as we get older, I think there's a process of unlearning we have to go through as well. You know, there's so many things that we've picked up that maybe don't serve us anymore, that we have to say, you know, those are from that time. Maybe they served me, maybe they didn't, but now I have to unlearn that because it's not serving me anymore. During sort of a time of growing up, were there any sort of moments of say trauma or pain or hurt that at the time hurt, but looking back you could say it's probably one of the best things that happened to me because it made me who I am today, and it makes me the person and the way I think, and you know, so much good has come out of it because of that moment? Is there anything that you can think of that you would be willing to share?
Yeah, when you're talking about when I was younger,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
when, like 9-10 years old. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there was quite a few things. My main hurt really was when mum and dad actually went back to Africa. I used to literally cry every morning when I got up because I missed them. You know, I was 9 years old, so I missed them so much. So, but I knew that they were going to come back. Was it going to be a year? Was it going to be 2 years? It's going to be 3 years, 4 years. So 4 years, 5 years, and it went on. But I got stronger through my emotion, and I think sometimes that actually has helped me through my hurt. So if somebody leaves and I have to leave them, I'm pretty strong with my emotions. They can walk away, and much as I love them, I have to let them walk away. Because I love them, I have to let them walk away. So so I think that's made me stronger in that way.
And people, and I, you know, for me, a time of my life when, you know, things changed a lot. That, you know, you can listen to things I've talked about, but a time when I was probably at my lowest was not so much when I was younger, because I think we had a good foundation of growing up and things, but when, you know, when I was living the life that capitalism, society, media told me was the best life. You know, the businesses, the cars, the houses, you know, the money, those things, and then waking up one morning broken, crying on my bed next to my wife and saying that I can't do this anymore. And she said, "What?" I said, "Life," because it felt like I was just digging myself a hole, and that hole was probably my grave at that point. And she said, "Well, you know, no one's made you make these decisions. You've chosen to make the decisions. So now you just have to choose again." And that was the turning point for me to be in this conversation with you today. You know, I look back at that moment, and at that moment I was hurt, I was broken, I was really in pain, but behind the mask. In front of the mask, everything was good. Not many people knew what I was going through, because I felt it was a silent battle. But now, looking back, you know, how everything changed was I started looking after myself, my health, my mindset, my well-being, and it's put me today being the strongest I've ever been, spiritually, emotionally. That I feel that if that didn't happen, I may have got here, but that was the catalyst for me to change and to say, actually, start looking inward. And that was my start of meditation, my start of putting myself first, and almost putting two fingers up at the universe and saying, you know, you've given me this, now take it, I don't care anymore. And as soon as I said that, as soon as I let go of the attachment to everything and said,
yeah,
whatever I need, just let me have. Whatever
yeah,
I don't, just take. Everything started sorting itself out. It took time, and it took
yeah,
hard effort, and it took love, and it took a lot of self-care and a lot of stop beating myself up and actually turning it around and saying, you know what, we just need
yeah,
to do this for I come from strength just like you. We come from strength,
yeah,
both, our grandparents, mom, babaji, I listen to those stories and I hear that and I'm like, how can I be feeling like I'm struggling when that was real tough
yeah.
times, um and
I,
that's what I draw upon.
yeah. Well, I can say, because of what I've just said to you, when I was younger and I went through that, that gave me the strength. Whereas you said that you had a really good foundation as a young person. So you never had to deal with that when you were younger. So it hit you tenfold when you were older, I think, because you just think everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be okay. But because as a younger, so when, especially children, try not to mollycoddle them. When I say mollycoddle, wrap them in cotton wool or anything like that. Let them go through a little bit of pain in their lives. Don't hide things away from them. Tell them the truth, because if you do, later on in their life, they won't know how to cope with it. And with me, I mean, at the age when you had your problem, and when you said I can't do life, that happened to me. I had to give up my house. I was living in pillar of post. I lived in my salon for a while. The children were at university. I mean, I did that for 2 years. Nobody knew I was doing that, but I did it for 2 years. But do you know why I could do it? Because I'm thankful that mum and dad, when they went away, because that gave me the strength. So I thought, actually, it's okay. I can do this. So, I really feel that sometimes when you do get hurt, always think, right, I'm getting hurt for a reason. This will make me learn something in my life, even if it's later on. And that's it.
It's interesting you say that about when you're young, because I remember starting school. So when I started school in London,
Yeah.
I could only speak Gujarati because
Yeah.
always speak to, but yeah, I couldn't speak English, right? I started speaking late as it was, so I started speaking like 4 years old or something like that. So I've definitely caught up over the years. But I remember going to an all English school, and there was no other brown people there, anywhere in London,
Yeah.
and not speaking English. Now, you know what I mean? It sounds like an actual movie, but this happened in real life. So I remember
I've been
going to,
there. I've been there.
yeah, going to school, actually not having any friends because no one actually do want to talk to the strange kid that can't even speak properly. When I used to sit down at my dinner table at lunchtime, the other kids will get up and leave. And I'd stand in the playground at dinner time and I'd stand with the dinner lady because that's the only person that would stand with me. Um, and then I look back and I think from an adult's eyes, you think, wow, that must have been hard. But as a child, that's,
Yeah.
I didn't know any different. That's all
No.
I knew, right? So not having friends, I thought was great because then I'd have to share my toys, and I have to, and then I have to talk to anyone.
Positive.
I don't have to talk to anyone. And looking back now, the journey I went on with setting up the business and being, you're on your own a lot of the time, and
Yeah.
it
You
taught me
are.
then that I'm all right on my own. Just get
Mm.
on with it. Do you know what I mean? And there's this whole thing about this, like I said, as a child, to go through pain and go through hurt. And like I said, as a child, I think children are great to talk to when you've got a
Yeah.
question or a problem because they'll tell you just a simple answer, which is what we
Yeah.
need a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? We don't need a big, complicated life answer. We just need, no, just don't do it, Daddy. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that can be so nice
Yeah.
to hear.
Yeah. And it's good that they can say you've asked them about a problem. And that's another thing. In my years, nobody asked a child whether they wanted, how they should be doing things. It was always, you be quiet, you be in that room, whatever. But that's one thing your dad, my uncle, actually did. He used to give me to say, well, Hershey, what do you think about this? Do you think that what this will help? And you know, I think sometimes it gave, again, like I use that word, I felt that he respected what I would be saying to him, that it, you know, that it mattered. So
Yeah.
I think with a child as well, it's good to tell, even if you haven't got a problem sometimes, just talk to a child and just see what their answers are. It's really interesting.
Okay. So what book are you reading at the moment? Just
I'm reading The Secret again. I think sometimes a book, again, books actually come to you um, because you're ready in your life for that. Um, when this happened with the coronavirus, and you know we had to self isolate, I said to myself, I never get a chance to read. You know, what shall I read? And then I thought, right, get that positive, because we need to be positive. Let me read The Secret, and started reading The Secret, and it's been brilliant because I kept. As I was reading it, and I've been listening to it, I was thinking, gosh, how do these people actually stand up and say what they feel? And then you asked me, do you want to do this, Harshida? I thought, oh, that's The Secret working already. So yeah.
and I think, behind, like, especially the way, these conversations, and the reason that I wanted to start this, and like I mentioned to you, I think conversations, listening into conversations through people and their journeys and their lives can help so much, because it can give you a point of view that you may not have had before, or
Yeah.
it could give you an insight to someone else's life, and actually said, actually, it's not just me going through it. There are others that are in this journey as well. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes it can feel life is against you. Sometimes it can feel that, you know what, it's only me that's struggling. But
Yeah.
what I've learned, no matter what facade or what mask anyone puts on, everyone is going through their own struggle,
Yeah.
irrespective. Some struggles are harder than others, but the bottom line is everyone is still struggling to work it out. No, anyone who says they've worked their life out, I'll point them out as a liar, because I don't think that's true. I don't think anyone has. We're all just you know going along, and hopefully bringing these out, airing our views and opinions, and these conversations where we speak our truth, we speak from the heart. I think can help so many people, but
Yeah.
also it can help us, because it gives us back our own point of view, and it gives us
Yeah.
perspective about our own lives as well.
Yeah, and just like we said before, it's about the honesty, being honest, and you were honest about with yourself, and that's why it's brought you here,
Mm.
because you just want to tell people the truth, because it's not easy out there, you know, but you can make it as easy as your life will let you make it easy. So it's not, you know, opening a business or starting anything new, you know, you'll have to struggle to start off with. You'll get used to it. It's like, okay, going to running the marathon, you do couch to 5K, and you carry on doing that, and it's all in the head. So if you tell your brain, I can do this, in fact, if you tell your brain you've already done it, then uh, it's achievable.
And something you mentioned earlier, us, as we both come from an Indian culture. We
Yeah.
are both descendants from Indian people. Now our
Hmm.
culture, I think another reason that I found it really important that we could speak our truth and be open, is because our culture sometimes doesn't serve us well. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of facade, there's a lot of hiding things, brushing things under the carpet. There's a lot of
Mm.
things, don't wash your dirty linen out in public.
Mm.
Um, you know, show the veneer of a great life, but don't show privately what you're feeling and what you're thinking,
Yeah.
because that shows weakness. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
what I've found is being assimilated into the British culture. One thing I've taken away is that the indigenous population, so people that I come across, a lot, and the honesty, brutal honesty about their lives, you know, and that really resonates with me, because that shows me that they're open, and they're open not just about themselves, but they're open to learn and accept other people's ideas and truths, and
Yeah.
instill it into their lives. And I think, I want to break that cultural, boundary that we have, that we can't speak about certain things, that we can't discuss certain things because it's not seen as good, or, that good terminology. So, what do you think about that?
Well, I think when you were talking about that, I just think everyone's got skeletons. Everyone's got something that they just put in a little box and don't want to rattle because they don't. It's that thing. What will that person say? What will society say? And that is a very Indian culture as well. And I think sometimes if you just talk, you don't have to talk to the whole world about some of the things, but just talk to one person, another person. And actually, you'll actually help that person by saying that lo and behold, that person said, I've been through the same. And you'll think, really? Oh, okay. Then you can talk about it, and that person feels more confident to talk to somebody else about it. And then we'll all be honest. That's the main thing, really. I think, yeah, we've had to hide quite a lot. But to be honest, Bhavik, I've gone against the grain. For an Indian person, I have completely gone against the grain for everything.
And like I said, I don't know if you feel, as you get older, do you feel more people than you hear and see them?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that's not just because I don't know whether you know that I do Reiki as well, within my business. So that actually helps as well. You get, I mean, I know what you mean by feeling is you can feel the atmosphere of them, their emotions, the atmosphere of their emotions before they actually open their mouth. You know what they're going to do, what they're going to say. It's only because we've become open to ourselves, we've become honest to ourselves, that we can feel it from other people as well. But yes, definitely, before somebody opens their mouth, you just think, I know exactly what you're going to say, but you let them.
Yeah. And I suppose also you give them the space to let them be who they believe they are, but also if you can put a little few nudges in that place to say, actually, your truth is fine, and your truth is, by you open yourself up first, I think it allows someone else to be their truth. And I think that's what we all need to be. All need to be our truth. We are all imperfect perfect people, or perfect imperfect people, and that's perfect. That's how the world is built, I think. And I think if we can all enjoy that more, enjoy that space to say, actually, do you know what, I don't know. And it's so good I don't know, because I've got so much more to learn.
Yeah, it's being humble, isn't it?
Of course it is. And I think, that humble way, so many people I see around me, and the ones I resonate with most are the ones, like that are open, honest, humble, and are not scared about their truths.
No.
Because no one can attack you for something they already know.
No.
They can only try and hold something up to you which you're trying to hide. And if you're trying to hide it, it's just a bigger hole that you need to dig to hide more.
Exactly. And it gets bigger and bigger after that. And that's why, the truth is good. As long as the truth, as your truth is, you're not hurting somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean. If you're hurting somebody in the present time, and that is your truth, then you need help. You need to go and find help for a professional, or even just a friend to talk to and say, but if you're hurt, if your truth is something that happened in the past, and you can leave it, then let it go. Don't let it be your present.
Perfect. So what would you say is your superpower?
My superpower, wow.
Yeah.
My superpower would probably be who I am.
Okay.
Just who I am, because who I've learned to be as well. My learning, and the other thing is when I'm actually talking to somebody, I get ideas from them, and I feel that's a power. It's a knowledge, isn't it? It's learning and knowledge. So I would say that is the way I would have my power, is that. But I will always say I have a lot of empathy, and having empathy is huge, I think. So that, okay, then let's go back. I think my superpower would be that I have empathy.
There you go. There we go. We got there. We got there, right? Because I know for a fact my superpower is patience. I have patience for days, and how that served me is that I see things in perspective. I know
Yeah,
some things are just going to take time. Let them take time and
yeah,
enjoy that time. And secondly, the more I can give my patience and my time to other people, the more patience they learn and the more they have with me.
yeah,
And because we are here, for a short period of time for the whole universe, but a long period of time if you look at it in humanity. um
yeah.
I'm planning to be here till 106 plus.
Okay,
I'm planning
quite
my life
precise.
and my health.
106. I like it.
Yeah. But I tell you why it is, because 100's a bit of a cliche. 105 was too round, so I thought 106 would be a nice, oh, he gave it his best shot. But and that, do you know what funny thing is that excites me. And why that
Yeah,
excites me is, well, I'm not even halfway through my life, and there's
yeah,
so much more to go. Now, in the Western view of age, if I said that to someone who has a typical Western view of thinking, that, oh my God, you're just gonna be old, decrepit, and sitting in the corner. But I
yeah,
see myself being strong, able, willing, mind and body till my last day, so I can be useful for my whole life, and I can
yeah,
be of use till my last breath. So,
yeah.
and that's what keeps me on this journey of health, keeps me on the journey of looking after my mind, my body,
Mhm.
nutrition, because it's such a, you know this is the vehicle that universe has given me to experience this thing called life.
Yeah.
And if we
This
can go.
No, I was just thinking, I know people call selfless and selfish the same sort of thing, but it's not. Being selfless, but basically, I would say is looking after yourself. Eat the right foods, do your meditation, do yoga, have the time to do that. That doesn't mean that you're not going back to the business, giving the business any time. In fact, that is your business.
Mm,
You are your
right.
business. If you don't have this vehicle, as you call it, which is running really well, then your business won't either. So being, yeah, be selfish. Another example I always use is the oxygen masks in a plane. They always say put your mask on first before you help anybody else, because if you don't put your mask on, if you're not well enough, you're not going to be there to help anyone, your family, your business, anything. So I think, yes, look after yourself first, otherwise you're going to be a burden. If you don't look after, you don't want to be a burden.
And I think one thing that I'm learning, and what resonates with me so much, I try and keep at the forefront of my mind, is you have to say no to a lot to say yes to yourself. um, and that means people, that means things, that means TV, that means time, that means listening. Because unless you start saying no to things around you, you can't say yes to yourself. Because if you're just saying yes to everything around you, when do you have time for yourself? And
Absolutely.
that's a skill that I found hard first, because like you said, I come from parents, I come from an environment where everyone is always ready to help. But it's
Yeah,
not me saying I'm not ready to help, it just means I'm keeping my head down. I am working on myself so much that I don't sometimes even have time to look up. But when I
yeah,
do look up and someone that needs my help, I am there 100%. But I
yeah.
am not the one who goes out to say, does anyone need any help? Because
No,
everyone's on their own path. When you need help,
yeah,
I'm here, and I'm always here for you. But
yeah.
don't expect me to come to you, because I'm just not built that way. And
No,
I'm happy that I can say that honestly, and I can say that with my heart, because I know my my integrity and my intention is that I am always here, always. So
yeah,
that's
but you don't have to be in somebody's presence all the time saying, "Can I help you? Can I help?" Because that can be quite irritating anyway. Is doing that. If you think you need to help me, then do the thing that you think you need to help me with, and then I'll see. Oh yeah, I did need you to do that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So you know that when people are always asking for help for you, it's because I'm not saying I don't mind people asking me at all, but sometimes they don't have respect for your time
Mm.
as well. and you've got to teach them that you have to have respect for that person's time as well. So yes, it's good that you'll say, when somebody comes to you, you'll say, yeah, I've got time, but can we do it in 24 hours time? Can we do it in 2 days time? Not now, because then you've given yourself that time. Like you said, you've given yes to you, you've done it in your own time, but you're not you're not going to help them. You're still going to be there to help them.
So sort of looking at the bigger picture now,
Mm-hmm.
what value do you define success?
Oh, success is definitely contentment. I think contentment in family, in health. That's success for me. And if you've got those, even if you haven't got a successful business, or you're not got loads of money or get that car or whatever, if you're happy and you're content with family, yourself as well, obviously you've got to be happy with you with yourself, then I'm afraid nothing's a success then.
I think, you know, in the society we live in the metric is money, right? So the metric of money is, when someone says, "Are you wealthy?" The metric always comes back to money, right? So how much money you have.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
my metric of wealth is measured by time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is someone who has the time to do the things they love and to spend their time doing the things they enjoy, that they know brings out the best in them and all the people around them. That to me is a wealthy person. Someone who has to do things because they built a system that makes them do a load of things. To me, you know, it's like someone had a T-shirt on it said, "Some people are so poor, all they have is money." And that really
I love
resonated because
that. I love
I
that.
saw this, that was brilliant,
Yeah.
and that stuck with me because I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
If someone doesn't, if you know, it's like when Minesh had Jaden and he decided to
Yeah.
take a year off. To me, that resonated so deeply with me because I'm like, you have built your life that you can spend your time with your child in his first year,
Amazing.
and you know, and that really struck a chord. And then I realized time is my currency of wealth, nothing else. And you know,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and having the time to spend with the people that you love, not necessarily the people that you live with, but just you know your cousins, your grandparents, just your friends. Just having that time is success. Definitely. There are a lot of successful people out there who haven't got any time for anyone except their accountants and the bank manager. Really.
and I know for sure you know a few of them, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
yes.
Yeah, and they look like the really successful ones who, well, what society says that success is. Well, to be honest, Bhavik, if that's what you would like and that's where you're happy, then so be it, because
That's
it
your
takes all
definition.
sorts,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
So if that's what they feel, but 9 out of 10, you talk to that person and you can see that there is something that is really niggling them, and that niggling is that love, that heat that you can feel of love within them. That's what's, because all their love is military.
Perfect. Now, do you know, while we've been talking, you know, there's a few things you've said in terms of quotes and things that stick with you that, you know, always bring you back to a center.
Yeah.
There's a few quotes that resonate with me, so I just wanted you to speak them out loud and tell me if they mean anything to you and what they mean to you. Okay. The first one is, "It's simple, but it's not easy."
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And what
Yeah.
when I hear that, so much of life is like that. And when he says,
Mm-hmm.
just lie there and sit with your thoughts. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And that helps me a lot in a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
The other one is, you cannot control what happens to you. You can only control how you think about it and how you respond to it.
Yeah.
The environment, I think, so much, especially now living in, you know, through this time, you know, this unique time we're in, we can't
Yeah.
control it. you know,
No.
but we can control what we do and how we think about it and what we do with our own life based on that.
Yeah.
And again, that resonates so deeply with me to know that it's all in my control.
Yeah.
Everything is always in my control. No one can make me feel sad. I choose to feel sad. No one can make me feel happy. I choose to feel happy. No one can no one can make me feel content. No one can make me happy. I choose those things. And as
Yeah.
soon as I
But the
choose them,
control,
yeah,
with control, I think you've got to bring control back home, as in as far as you can reach. As long as you can not control, but be happy with what you have as arm's length. Because you can't do, if you can do something for one person, you can touch them and make them feel good. If that person can touch somebody else, that's the only way you can control what's happening on the other side of the world. But otherwise, we can't. I mean, we can't control this disease. Not from home. And what's the use getting upset about it and feeling really sad about it? Just control what we, like you said, control what we have here, and let's make the most of this. Whatever it's been given to us. The universe has actually given us this time to see how we're going to use it. Well, let's use it. Let's use it to our full potential.
100%. What inspires you to be the best version of yourself?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What inspires you to be the best version of yourself?
People, human beings.
And
That's
it,
my, sorry, I'll
okay.
expand on that. So when I see somebody that I'm not too sure about, I want to be, not be that person, but I want to not even help that person. I want to think, right, how can I talk to this person to make me believe that there is something good here? There is something good about that person. How can I do it? And so that my inspiration is not only over people that make me feel great about them, but also people who don't make me feel great. I get inspired. Inspiration is probably probably not the right word to use, but it's something that inside me saying, like, I've got to. Why are my cells going red hot when this person's speaking to me? I don't want to be angry with this person. How can I change this? I think, again, it can be an inspiration, can't it, really?
And with, just coming back to your skill set, because obviously you
Yeah,
deal with skincare, you know about this is your forte.
yeah.
With everyone going through a lot of worry and stress right now, what would you say? How could you sort of give some tips and advice about skincare right now that everyone could sort of just do things from
Okay.
home?
Yeah. Well, this is the best time to look after it. Absolutely best time. How many people have said to me that they can't, they haven't got time? I give them 1, 2, 3 routines to do. I haven't got time to do that. I've got to go work. Da, da, da. But now is the time they can expand on that. So all the lessons that I have taught other people about their skincare, they can do it. So first thing in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, you cleanse your face. Cleanse your face, use an exfoliator once a week as well. I mean, these are the sort of things people look at me thinking, you're out of your mind. How? When am I going to do all this? You've got the time now. So cleanse, exfoliate, moisturize, use a serum. And when you're putting this moisturizer on, touch your skin, touch your face. And because you've not done it before, because when you go to work, you're slapping this on quickly and then going into work, you haven't even touched, saying, oh, my skin feels like this is my nose, these are my eyes, all of those things. So what you're actually doing is not just looking after your skin, but you're actually doing a massage. You're looking after yourself that way, really. So yeah, the way to look after your skin now is take time over it. Use a mask, lay down, meditate with a mask on. Make sure you wash it off though afterwards. But yeah.
And lots of drinking water, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about topically, but eating well, drinking water, all of those, definitely. And we've had some beautiful days, and a lot of people have been in their gardens or in their balconies. Please, 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 what I say, put some sun protection on all the time. 30 is your minimum. You can't, don't put anything lower than 30. Whatever color creed you are, you need that to protect your skin, not just from fine lines and wrinkles, but also from the cancerous rays that are out there. But you can do that by eating well as well. Eating berries help with the antioxidants and everything in that as well. Okay.
I think I have to confess I'm guilty of that. Like Vesh is always saying to me, you know, put some cream on something. I'm like, I'm fine, I'm Indian, I've got brown skin, I'll be all right. You know what I mean? But I know I should, but I know I'm really lazy at that. So I will try. I do eat well, really well, and I drink a lot of water. So I know that I'm supporting myself, but I will, you know, take that advice on board. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you'll be surprised when you touch your face that you've not touched your face, and you think, oh, is that how my nose feels, or is that what it feels around my eye area, or my neck? Oh yeah, that feels good.
What does self-love mean to you?
Self-love is looking after you. So the main thing I think is nutrition, exercise, but exercise doesn't have to be beating yourself up about it, really. Meditation, yoga, Pilates, you know, something that you stretch your muscles with. Yeah, and as you said before, water. So looking after you as a whole, but not just your body, but as a whole, and your mind. So meditation is massive. To be honest, I was slack with the meditation, and I know you've always told me to do that. I was slack with it, but since we've had this time, I've been really, really good at it. It's amazing what it does.
And you have to make it non-negotiable, don't you? It's
Yeah.
something that is not a nice to have, or it's not when I have time. It's a must, and it's a lifestyle, because you know we all look after our bodies. We can see when we have a broken arm, but we can't see when we have a broken mind. And
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
sort of the antidote and the plasters that keep us all together, and it keeps us nourished, and it keeps our brain working, and it keeps our mindset in a positive state. So for me, it was one of the first steps I took when I had a broken concept of life, and
Yeah.
that's why I'll never go back to anything else, because it's helped me so much. So that was that. So just going on to a couple of last questions, which are a little bit deeper, so we can just get to a real understanding about you as a person and just
Okay.
how you think.
Mm-hmm.
You've reached the last moments of your life. Okay, many years from now, you know, you've done everything you've done. You know, there's still a long way to go, but you now have been told this is the last moment. You have enough energy to write. You don't have enough energy to speak, but you have enough energy to write. Pick up a pen and write 3 words. And those 3 words will have resonate with you your whole life up to
Mm-hmm.
now, up to then, and you would like the people that read them to try and practice and learn them, so that it helps them in their life. What would those 3 words be?
Okay. Honesty. Being honest to yourself and to the people around you. Um, um, I would say empathy. Not everyone empathizes, but if you can learn to feel what somebody else feels, and try and help them, so do that. And being humble, definitely being humble, because you know, if you try to be really proud all the time, saying yeah I can do that, when even if you can't, so you're being dishonest by saying that anyway. Sometimes let's just see where your river, your a river of thought flows. If it bumps into something, then flow around it. If somebody stops you and says no, you're not doing this right, ask them, why do you think I'm not doing that right? Because you might learn something. So being humble is good.
Perfect. I can't, to be honest, like everything you said, I fully agree with. Key things that, you know, life and time and perspective brings you, and those 3 things really do resonate with me as well. So thank you for that.
Okay.
And the last one, the big one for you.
Okay.
So this podcast is called Bigger Than the Hustle, and right now you are bigger than the world. And what I mean by that is I'm going to give you a microphone, and that microphone is connected to all the 7.86 billion people in this world right now.
Now
They
you're
all,
scaring me.
yeah, and they all understand you. There's no language barrier, and they can all hear you, and they've all stopped what they're doing, and they're all awake, and they're fully active, and they're fully listening to what you're saying. So all I can afford you is 30 seconds on that
You're going
mic.
to stop me after 30 seconds.
I'm going to forward you to 30 seconds and then to share your message that you want everyone in the world to hear. So I'll leave that with
Tell me
you.
when I can start then. I've got to read this
Start
out.
whenever you're ready.
To have fulfillment in life, follow only the feeling of love within you. Have gratitude for yourself, others, and the environment. Surround yourself with like-minded people. If you feel sadness, anger, upset, pain, take a moment, then breathe it through. Let that feeling pass. And if it doesn't go, then there's a lesson to be learned. Be humble. You'll learn from it, and it will pass in time. Above all, empathy. Have empathy, not just for others, but please have empathy for yourself. Ta-da!
Perfect. Now, so we've reached the end of our conversation.
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you for being the person you are. Thank you for always turning up. Thank you. I remember doing, I did a course called Landmark Forum in London. You know about that. And the first person I rang was you.
I followed you.
Yeah. And the first
and so did my children.
And the first person I rang was you, just to tell you how much I loved you, how much of a ball of energy and a ball of, emotion you are, how much you've helped me through my life, and how much you turn up for everyone, no matter what the outcome on the other side is. You'll always be there, and you'll always show your best side, and you'll feel it within you. So thank you. I acknowledge that, and I will always be grateful to have you in my life. So thank you for that.
Bhavik, those words are amazing, because sometimes you don't feel that people feel that way about you. And like I've said, as long as you feel that about yourself, which I do, that you've just literally said all those things, I think this is what I want to be to my family. So that's lovely. And do you know what? I feel top of the world for you to ask me that. I just felt brilliant. So what your dad did to me, asked me before, oh, go and do this, but then corrected me every now and then. You've done exactly the same. So there we go. You've done something like your dad.
So we'll end it here. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're nervous today, and I hope you've enjoyed this time. And I hope so. I pray and hope that the universe sends this message out to everyone who needs it. The words and the concepts and the thoughts that we've shared, we've been honest, we've been open, and we hope that it touches even one person to help them move their life into a better direction. If it has, then it's all been worth it. So thank you for your time. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for sharing, Sheeda. And we'll see you again next week.
What I like to do is I like to go to my hub, for example, and educate you on how your bicep is moving. It's not just a bicep curl. It's the fact that you have muscle insertions and insert here, insert here, insert here. And by you doing this movement, that's what's happening. That gives me drive.